Hi, everyone. So, when we discuss biology, we all know that it's the study of life. And when I ask students, what makes something living, I always get some of the same answers. So imagine that you walk into your living room and there's someone laying on the couch. Okay. This actually happened to us this summer. My family and I took a trip to Yellowstone. We did some traveling to South Dakota, but we went to Yellowstone on our last part of the trip. We had a cabin in Idaho. And that night, we went to sleep, and upstairs, my husband and I, and then our son Jackson and our daughter Anna Claire Ace, we were upstairs sleeping in the loft. Mr. Fort Mary and I had a bedroom, and Jackson and Ace had these pull-out couches in the loft. Downstairs, my parents were sleeping in a bedroom down there. Well, early in the morning, I got up to use the restroom, and when I was stepped out of my bedroom, I just kind of looked down at the living room below us, and I noticed there was someone laying in the recliner. And I thought, that's weird. I didn't hear Jackson get up. And right about that time, I turn and look, and there is Jackson laying in his bed. And I look over, and there is Ace laying in her bed. And I look back in the bedroom, and there's Mr. Fort Mary laying in his bed. So I looked down, and I could tell that it was not my parents. So there's a strange individual laying in the recliner. So I go in and I wake up Mr. Fort Mary, and I said, there is someone um, in our recliner who is not one of us. And he sits up real groggy and looks at me and said, "Excuse me." I said, "There is a person in the recliner who does not belong to us." So he gets up. I run to the restroom real quick. And when I come down the stairs, there's Mr. Fortenberry being all principal like. And he's poking this person in the shoulder, saying, "Hey, who are you? Who are you?" And he looks at me, he goes, "I don't know if he's alive." So, being the people that we are, we immediately check for certain things that make us wonder if something is living or not. So, he was breathing, so that told me he was alive. He did have a pulse. It wasn't the greatest pulse, but he had a pulse, so that told me that he was alive. And he kind of grunted a little bit, so therefore he was responsive. So we knew he was alive. So Mr. Fort Mary tells me to call 911. He goes off looking to see if maybe he had come from some other cabin. We find out his name, and at this point, Jackson and Ace are awake. I've yelled at them, made them go back to their bedroom. My parents have come out. I've yelled at them and sent them back to their bedroom because I didn't want to, get this person upset. But he was a wayward teen who had been out having a little too much fun and had wandered into the wrong cabin. Well, I tell you this whole story because if you were to walk in and find someone asleep on your couch or laying on your couch, you would do just like Mr. Fortenberry and I did. You would check for signs of life. Are they moving? Are they breathing? Are they responding? Things like that. So I always like to bring this out as a demo. We have a candle here, and this candle is doing a lot of things that that living organisms do. It moves. The flame is moving. Um, the flame consumes. If I took a piece of paper and put in here, it would catch on fire, and it would consume that paper, and it would grow as it did it. Um, the fire responds. When I blow on it, it flickers, it responds just like the individual on my recliner responded when we tapped him. It does a lot of the same things that living organisms do. I always have students say, "Well, it's not breathing." But if I take the lid and put on this candle and cut off the oxygen, look, it burns out because the fire needs oxygen in order for it to burn. So, what makes that candle living or non-living? What characteristics will tell us that this fire is not alive? We know that the fire is not alive, But a lot of the same characteristics that we use to determine if someone or something is alive are the same things that we would just say about that fire, and they fall into the category that they're living. So, what I want you to do is I want you to think about this flame, and then I want you to read the excerpt, The Andromeda Strain. And then after you've read that, it's really going to get you to thinking about what is living, what is not living. And then I would like you to go and complete the Padlet assignment. Once you've completed the Padlet assignment, then we will go from there. Okay? Enjoy, and I look forward to reading your discussion.